Saturn is going to start going direct from September 15th onwards. How is it going to impact each sign? I am briefly and generally going to tell you what it will do to Aries, what it will do to the Taurus or Gemini, etc. Now Saturn going direct, conceptual stage 15th September, 18th September is when it completely catches its momentum. For you Geminis, it directly affects your 8th house, which means your shared property and which also means your financial, which makes the world go round. But sometimes you have to learn the art of sharing, and when there are people who hold access to your funds, it can be a little painful because you hate letting people know what all is there in your bank, but then you've got to share it with your loved ones. Your loved ones should know that how much of an access they have and how much can they depend upon you. So some of you Geminis may have had a radical cut off from your careers or your finances this past summer. There could have been a loss of job or a change of job, but you will find a new way to earn your salaries. Perhaps you are in a position this time where you had no choice but to borrow money from a friend or a loved one, and it's been difficult to pay back. But if you've done your homework well, and if you've invested in your own self, that these are the qualities that you can do and these are the potentials that you have got, where you could start a new business or start an educational institution, when the Saturn goes direct, you can put them into execution. I've spoken about purity of intent. So let not the purity of intent be only in your thought and in your word. Please harness it into executing your thoughts and words. And trust me, your finances will become better and they will begin to pan out in a very, very sensible way, and repayment will become less difficult for you. There's also a lesson or two to be learnt about life, love and your relationship. Your priorities may be more in order now that you've absorbed lessons, but what matters to you emotionally, not just physically, that is also important. You have had an opportunity to think about where you want your life to head and become more willing to release your old habits. Old way of doing things can take time to die down, but retaining and retraining your mind will require a true effort. But it won't be much of an effort as the sun goes direct. As the Saturn goes direct. From this point forward, you will start feeling more alive again and even reborn to some degree. The 8th house is also associated with intimacy. If you felt all this stress has put a strain on your love life, it probably would have. I don't deny that. But now efforts you make will seem to be more hope-filled and positive. Perhaps some great news also can be expected, and that will allow you to take your desired plans and implement them on a whole new level. So what are the facts that you need to understand is that do not let the child die within you. Explore and understand that everybody around is not perfect, and even you are not perfect, but life is all about learning, and if there have been obstacles, it probably would have made you a much wiser man now, and you know that all the mistakes that we made are lessons to learn, and obviously the future can be brighter if we don't repeat those mistakes and we keep retraining our mind that the best way to succeed in life is to look forward. To personally know how the Saturn is going to affect you, which is the period that you are undergoing, and how you better be prepared to declutter yourself so that you can give more importance to the values that you truly believe in. Of course, you'll have to completely go by your natal chart and by your yearly chart. What is the transiting period telling you? So knowing personally your natal chart and being aware what are the present circumstances, we'll have to connect with each other on a personal level. But meanwhile, just to relax you and just to make you feel confident that September 15th onwards can actually be a damn good period for all of us, if only we can start correcting our own selves rather than correcting the world at large or expecting that this is how the world should be. So in a nutshell, I would say, listen to your zodiacs and be the change that you want to see in the world or the society around you.